Resurrection F takes place after the events of the battle between Goku and Beerus. Peace has returned to the Earth as we transition to Hell, where a deceased Frieza is being tormented by its angels. Though, rather than being subjected to a harsh environment, the tyrant is surrounded by fairies and stuffed animals who are singing and dancing as he hangs helplessly from a cocoon. Meanwhile in space, we're introduced to an alien named Sorbet, the commander of the remnants of the Frieza Force. Informed that their remaining soldiers are depleted, and there's been no evidence of Namekian survivors, Sorbet opts to make his way to planet Earth. Aware of his plan to retrieve the Dragon Balls, one of Frieza's soldiers warns of the potential danger given a Super Saiyan is on Earth, but Sorbet assumes there's no choice and tells his soldier Tagoma that he'll be joining him. Tagoma questions why his commander doesn't send a larger unit of soldiers to invade Earth, but Sorbet explains that Earth Saiyans can detect power levels without scouters, so more people will result in a greater chance of being spotted. Asserting that they'll be reviving Lord Frieza soon enough, Sorbet and Tagoma set a course for Earth. Tagoma notices on his radar that Pilaf, Mai, and Shu have collected 6 of the 7 Dragon Balls, and aiming to catch them before they waste a wish, their ship takes off at high speed. On Earth, Tagoma and Sorbet find Pilaf and the others, who inform the two that the final Dragon Ball is on the ocean floor below. Sorbet orders Tagoma to retrieve it, and when he dives in, Pilaf blames Mai for their current predicament, stating that if she'd been faster getting the Dragon Radar, they could have found the Dragon Balls sooner and made their wishes. Mai asserts Pilaf should have just refused the alien's demands, prompting him to command his comrades to pull out their weapons and kill Sorbet. As the three ready themselves to attack, Sorbet uses his ring laser to disarm them, asserting he may be small, but he shouldn't be taken lightly. Pilaf and the others grow nervous and beg for forgiveness, while simultaneously, Tagoma emerges from the sea with the final Dragon Ball. Meanwhile at Gohan's house, Piccolo is babysitting Pan, who's being rocked to sleep. Gohan and Videl arrive home after shopping, and Videl jokes that Piccolo's face must have been scary for Pan to look at. Suddenly, Piccolo's focus shifts, prompting concern from Gohan. When the Namekian notes he's sensing some bad energy in another direction, Gohan senses it too. Transitioning to the Rocky Mountains in the distance, all 7 Dragon Balls are gathered, and Pilaf questions if Sorbet will kill them once he summons the dragon for him. Sorbet notes that he won't, given he may have use for the Pilaf gang later, and Mai attempts to add a little insurance, noting that her boyfriend Trunks will get mad if anything happens to her. Commanding the trio to get a move on though, Sorbet watches as Pilaf summons Shenron, the dragon appearing from the magical orbs majestically. Gohan and Piccolo notice the sky darkening in the distance, and standing before the wish-granting dragon, Sorbet and the others are commanded to speak their desire. Sorbet then steps forward and wishes for Frieza to be brought back to life. Shenron states that it can be done, but notes that Frieza's body was cut to pieces and obliterated many years ago, so there's little point in returning his soul to that form. Sorbet wonders what they should do, but Tagoma suggests returning Frieza's soul to his broken body anyway, as their advanced technology could piece him back together. With this in mind, Sorbet rudely commands Shenron to bring Frieza back, and after being instructed to ask politely, the alien obliges. His wish is granted as Frieza's remains fall from the sky and land, a piece of the tyrant's eye opening and scaring the Pilaf gang. Shenron questions what Sorbet's second wish will be, and surprised that he's being granted another one, the alien is informed by Shenron that when Earth's guardian was replaced long ago, his powers were altered as well. Sorbet ponders on what his second wish should be and considers bringing back King Cold, but he's interrupted by Shu, who requests 1,000,000 Zeni, and Shenron departs having fulfilled his duty. Sorbet grows angry with the Pilaf gang for interfering with his plans, but Tagoma stops him from attacking them, exclaiming they need to leave as the Saiyans may be aware of their presence on Earth now. Sorbet reluctantly agrees as the two begin packing up Frieza's remains, the duo almost forgetting Frieza's eye as Pilaf runs to give it to them. Sorbet and Tagoma both take off into space at hyperspeed, and Pilaf commends Shu on his quick thinking for the money he wished for. At the same time, Gohan notices that Shenron has disappeared, and Piccolo fears the Earth may be in danger again. In space, Sorbet and his soldiers witness Frieza being pieced back together, the tyrant instantly growing his limbs as his immense power begins to shake the ship, destroying everyone's scouters. The glass within his regeneration chamber cracks under the pressure of his strength and shatters completely, revealing Frieza in his first form, surprising everyone. Sorbet welcomes Frieza back to the world of the living, prompting the tyrant to question who he is. Sorbet introduces himself and notes that he's been leading the Frieza Force in their master's absence, going on to explain that the power of Earth's Dragon Balls, coupled with their advanced technology, allowed them to bring Frieza back to life. Tagoma then introduces himself to the tyrant, followed by another soldier, Shisami, both revealed to rival Zarbon and Dodoria in strength at their peaks. Frieza commends Sorbet on doing an adequate job, but questions what took him so long to bring him back to life. Nervously, Sorbet asserts it wasn't easy hunting down the Dragon Balls, and Frieza exclaims what was harder was enduring the suffering of Earth's hell. He goes on to assume that his army has been falling apart without him, but Sorbet insists once more that improving their tech and hunting down the Dragon Balls took longer than they'd hoped. Frieza then questions the fate of his father, to which Sorbet replies that they were unable to bring him back to life. Frieza, however, prefers it this way, and randomly blasts a soldier on the opposite side of the room to gauge his strength. Confirming his suspicions that his skills have gotten rusty in death, Frieza asserts he'll need to wait a little longer before exacting his revenge. Sorbet questions what he means, and Frieza exclaims that he intends to kill both Goku and Future Trunks for what they did to him. Tagoma speaks up, suggesting Frieza shift his focus on the rest of the universe, but Frieza responds by lifting the soldier up and throwing him into the vacuum of space. The pressure from the cracked window flings other members of the Frieza Force into space as well, and Sorbet employs a shield around the ship to stop the chaos. Noting the Frieza Force has become nothing but cowards, Frieza questions how Sorbet would expect anyone to fear them while they themselves tremble before the hands of Saiyans. Sorbet, however, asserts that the Saiyan named Goku has gone through a great deal since Frieza's death, having become more formidable than when he bested him in battle. Frieza laughs though, stating he'll just have to become stronger himself in order to defeat Goku. Sorbet goes on to explain that Goku even defeated Majin Buu, catching Frieza's attention, as he was always told the only two people in the universe he was never to challenge was Beerus the Destroyer and Majin Buu. Now arriving at the realization that Goku is even stronger than he dared to admit, Frieza gains the motivation to grow so powerful that he's never dethroned again. He goes on to say that he'd never trained a day in his life and wonders what possibilities he could unlock if he focused on releasing his latent potential. Sorbet questions if Frieza can truly grow stronger than his final form, and Frieza confirms, asserting that if he trains consistently for the next 4 months, he can achieve a power level of 1.3 million. Meanwhile, Jocko is seen traveling to Earth, arriving at Capsule Corps where he argues with the receptionist to see Bulma immediately. The woman refuses to let Jocko in without an appointment, but Dr. Brief arrives shortly after, the two waiting around until Bulma appears. Having recently spoken to her sister Tights, Jocko questions if Bulma knows the man who defeated Frieza long ago. Bulma responds that there were 2 men who managed to do this, her teenage son Trunks from the future and her family friend Goku. Jocko notes he needs to speak with Goku, but Bulma informs him that he and Vegeta are on another planet with Lord Beerus. Jocko questions who that is, unaware that such a being even existed, but changes the topic and alerts Bulma that Frieza has been resurrected and is on his way to Earth with 1,000 soldiers. Bulma, who'd never seen Frieza's face at this point, is shown a drawing from Jocko, and the patrolman reiterates that the tyrant is on his way with at least 1,000 men. Having done his job and shared the news, Jocko makes his way to depart from Earth as he doesn't want to die, and is followed by Bulma. It isn't long before Bulma brings out a huge cup of ice cream and calls for Whis, noting that this is the best way to get his attention, and questions Jocko on how long they have until Frieza arrives. Stating they only have an hour or so, Jocko is met with anger from Bulma, who notes she barely has any time to warn anyone who could help. She gives Jocko the ice cream and walks off, and later, we cut to a bank in West City, currently being robbed by 2 Earthlings. The two take off, speeding past a cop giving someone a ticket, and are pursued shortly after. The chase goes on for a minute through town, and the robbers kick their ride into high gear to escape the policeman. Suddenly though, the cop speeds past them and blocks their path, the two stopping and yelling at the man for getting in their way. The policeman, now revealed to be Krillin, can't believe the audacity of the two and kicks them away, exclaiming that they just robbed a bank. The two apologize profusely as Bulma calls Krillin, the cop simultaneously stopping the 2 criminals from sneaking away. As she relays the bad news, Krillin opts to join her as soon as he can, adding that he'll get Master Roshi up to speed as well. He later gets home and changes into his martial arts gi, greeted by 18 who offers to go as well, as she's still still much stronger than him. Krillin, however, tells her to stay home and watch their daughter Marin, but questions if she can shave his head before he leaves. As she does just that, she inquires if Goku and Vegeta are still on Beerus' planet, prompting confirmation from Krillin, who notes they have Gohan and Majin Buu to help them while they wait on the Saiyans to join them. He soon takes off to join everyone for the incoming battle, 18 staying behind and stating how cool her husband is. Meanwhile in space, Sorbet informs Frieza that they'll be arriving on Earth soon, the tyrant responding by questioning why his forces have only been able to locate Goku and not Future Trunks. Sorbet states that they've been looking for him ever since Frieza died, but they were unable to find him and assumed that he may have retired or died. He goes on to say that the only two Saiyans on Earth are Goku and Vegeta, not counting their half-breed children, including Gohan. Frieza finds this answer acceptable and opts to begin his revenge with them, soon questioned by Sorbet on what he'll do to prevent anyone from being wished back to life as he was. Frieza says that he'll be destroying the Earth along with Goku and the others, permanently destroying the Dragon Balls in the process, along with Earth's hell. Sorbet finds this plan plausible, and Frieza reminds him of their contingency in case things don't go as planned. In the meantime, on Beerus' planet, Goku and Vegeta are training with Whis, both attempting to attack him though they're unable to land a blow. They instead crash into one another, both growing increasingly frustrated. As the two continue their combined assault, they're led into a field of flowers where Whis diverts his focus, though still able to dodge the Saiyans' attacks with ease. Vegeta asserts he and Goku are being toyed with, both Saiyans deciding to unleash a bit of their power and charge in again, though the result remains the same. Catching both of their fists, Whis launches the two into each other, Vegeta immediately blaming Goku, who responds by telling him to calm down. Whis comments on the bickering between the two, and Vegeta tells Goku to stay back, as he wants to get Whis to himself. Goku advises against this, but Vegeta charges in anyway, trying and failing to land a single blow. Whis effortlessly maneuvers Vegeta's body and sends him crashing into the water below, though the Saiyan rises shortly after and is met with a slight chop to the back of his neck. This attack knocks Vegeta unconscious, and Goku, observing from above, is met with a silent gesture from Whis to attack once more. Goku flies in and tries to land a blow as Vegeta did, but is quickly teased by Whis, who could have knocked him out instantly. Goku moves around his hand and attempts another attack, but he's halted with a slight gesture to his neck and is sent crashing down to the water below. Goku, however, stops his descent and rushes back in, only to be pushed back with a shockwave and plummet into the water after all. At the same time, Vegeta regains consciousness, flying in to grab Whis from behind. Although he succeeds in this, it doesn't do him any good when the angel releases himself from his grip, the two Saiyans unleashing another barrage of blows that are blocked in their entirety. Having seen enough, Whis stops their attacks and tells them that they're done for now, conversing with the winded Goku and Vegeta, who at this moment don't possess the necessary speed to keep up with him. He directs their attention to their tops as he was able to sign them during their training, surprising the two. Whis goes on to explain to the two that they're still thinking before they move rather than just moving, noting that this habit is especially strong in Vegeta and that overthinking limits his fighting speed. Goku states that Vegeta really does like to overthink everything, prompting Vegeta to state that Goku only thinks less because he's an idiot. That aside, Whis notes that the end goal for the Saiyans should be to master the ability to have each part of their body think and move independently from the others, but admits that this is an extremely difficult thing to do, as Lord Beerus hasn't even mastered it. Vegeta questions if Whis truly has the ability to move without having to think, and the angel confirms. Goku then noticing that he stepped in poop, prompting a comedic moment. Jokes aside, Whis turns his attention back to Vegeta, telling him that regardless of being an extraordinary fighter, Goku's always one step ahead of him. He goes on to explain that the Saiyan walks around with a chip on his shoulder which prevents him from fighting at his full potential, suggesting that when there's a chance to rest, he needs to take it as Goku does. However, Whis points out Goku's flaws as well, punching him in the side, and notes that his weakness is being too relaxed. He says how he's witnessed Goku's overconfidence in battle, and notes that no matter how strong he is physically, if he lets his guard down, he's doomed to fail. Suddenly, Beerus wakes up from his nap, questioning what all the noise is about. This is followed by an unprovoked sneeze that triggers a blast of destruction, flying past Goku and Vegeta and colliding with the planet on the outskirts of Beerus' domain. The resulting blast leaves the Saiyans in awe, Goku noting that if they'd been hit by the energy, they'd likely be killed. Whis says that this is nothing new for Beerus though, and notes that he's once plunged his own planet into darkness when he casually wiped out its two suns. This prompts Goku to question how the planet is back to normal, and Whis responds that in situations such as those, he can perform a temporal literal do-over, meaning he can reverse time right before the event happens and stop it from taking place. Shocked, Vegeta questions what Whis really is, and the angel goes into a muffled explanation, interrupted by Beerus when he completely wakes up and questions what Goku and Vegeta are doing on his planet. Nervously, Goku explains that they asked Whis to train them, going on to say that the angel brought them to the planet himself as Goku is unable to sense Beerus' energy from Earth. Beerus questions why it's so important for the two Saiyans to build their strength, curious if Goku is secretly gunning for the job of Destroyer. Goku, however, notes he'd never want such a role and says he just wants to get stronger, prompting Vegeta to exclaim that he refuses to let Goku leave him in the dust, so he decided to train as well. Whis comments on how poorly the Saiyans get along and says that if they could just learn to work together, they could go toe-to-toe with even Lord Beerus. Beerus tells Whis to be quiet, and Vegeta refuses to do such a thing, echoed by Goku, who agrees that fighting alone is the best way to go about things. Beerus then questions what food Goku and Vegeta brought for him to eat, and Whis cuts in, introducing a food called pizza. Beerus threatens to destroy Goku and Vegeta if it isn't absolutely delicious, and realizes that the two must have been visiting his planet to train in secret while he was sleeping. Meanwhile on Earth, the citizens of North City are confused when Frieza's mothership arrives and flies past them, landing in a mountainous region in the distance. Departing from the ship appear to be more than 1,000 of his soldiers, preparing for a full-scale invasion. Gohan and Piccolo are making their way toward the location, taking off at high speed upon sensing what's going on. Emerging from the top of his mothership in a hover pod, Frieza orders his men to move aside as he gazes toward North City. In a ruthless showing of his abilities, he fires a finger beam toward the city, completely destroying it in an instant. Nearby, Tien witnesses the deaths of countless innocents, vowing to make Frieza pay as he continues toward his location. Frieza's men are in awe of his power, and suddenly, Gohan and Piccolo make their entrance, noticed by the tyrant. Tien appears with them shortly after, letting Gohan know that he didn't bring along Chaozu or Yamcha, as these enemies would be too powerful for them. Gohan responds by agreeing it was for the best, and says he didn't bring Goten or Trunks either, as they just get themselves into trouble. Krillin and Master Roshi show up next, the latter explaining that they were late because they needed to grab some sensu beans from Korin. Greeting one another, Gohan comments on Krillin's shaved head, prompting Krillin to question Gohan's outfit. Gohan notes he didn't have enough time to grab his fighting clothes, and when questioned by Master Roshi if he's been keeping up with his training, Gohan says no, but notes he might still be able to transform into a Super Saiyan when he wants to. Frieza then confronts the group of heroes, inquiring where Goku is. Krillin asserts he'll arrive soon, and Frieza recognizes him, recalling that he killed Krillin on Namek, and states that the Dragon Balls can apparently revive the powerful and the pathetic. Suddenly, Jaco arrives in his Galactic Patrol spaceship with Bulma, who finally sees Frieza firsthand and comments on how creepy he looks. Krillin berates Bulma for showing up to Frieza's invasion willingly, but she says she hasn't had any luck contacting Goku or Vegeta, so she figured she'd be safer if she joined up with everyone else. She then demands Jaco to come out of his spaceship and help everyone fight, and after some convincing, he agrees to take on Frieza's soldiers, but preferably the weaker ones. Tien and Krillin wonder who the stranger is, and at the same time, Frieza recognizes the symbol on his chest as Galactic Patrol. His focus wavers though when Bulma calls him out, taunting Frieza on his first two losses to Goku and Trunks, and questions how he managed to come back to life. Declining to answer, Frieza assumes Bulma must have been on Namek during his battle with Goku, and demands she tell him where he is. Instead, Bulma mocks Frieza some more and questions what took him so long to return for his revenge, prompting laughter from the tyrant as he explains he was tied up for a bit longer than he would have liked. Bulma goes on to tell Frieza to leave the planet before he loses again, but Roshi tells her to be quiet before she escalates things further. Frieza threatens to kill Goku's loved ones if he doesn't show up to Earth, and hoping for a way out, Bulma relies on Gohan's strength to handle Frieza in the meantime. However, Gohan tells Bulma that he's outclassed against Frieza at the moment, going on to say that the tyrant has reached a completely different level of power, and that it took Goku everything he had to defeat him on Namek. Now realizing the error of her ways, Bulma apologizes to Frieza and requests he wait patiently for Goku's arrival. The tyrant only gives Goku 10 seconds to show up though, prompting Bulma's anger. The stage is set for Earth's invasion, and when Sorbet gives the order to attack, the entire Frieza Force launches in. The Z Z fighters ready themselves for battle, Master Roshi bulking up and alerting everyone that by his estimation, they'll need to eliminate 170 soldiers each. Everyone begins their individual battles, Roshi stepping up to the plate first and demonstrating his ability as a few soldiers attempt to tackle him. Responding with a Kamehameha, Roshi eliminates them as he's surrounded by many more. Krillin is up next, avoiding lasers and swiftly incapacitating soldiers. Jaco is seen fighting near him, kicked to the ground, but recovers enough to fire a beam from his gun that causes a few soldiers to fall to the ground in pain. Piccolo is seen making light work of the Frieza Force, similar to Gohan, who's barely breaking a sweat. Tien seems to be holding his own as well, and when Master Roshi tells everyone to spread out and fight, they take off in different directions. Jaco is the first to be pursued by hundreds, stopping to take out a few, but continues fleeing shortly after as to not get overwhelmed. Tien is seen fending off enemies in a cave, knocking some out before deciding to use his tri-beam technique to destroy more at a time. Though the blast removes a fraction of the soldiers, it's not enough as more come pouring in, frustrating Tien. Transitioning to a fatigued Master Roshi, he prepares another Kamehameha, but is interrupted when he's kicked to the ground, mocked by a soldier. Asserting that elders should be respected, Roshi manages to release his blast, detonating on the surrounding enemies. However, there isn't much time for him to catch his breath before he's surrounded by more, the old man laughing nervously at his unfavorable situation. Krillin is seen flying away from the soldiers next, gaining enough distance to prepare a Destructo disc that he launches at a surrounding cliffside, which slows down some of the soldiers. Gohan is followed through a narrow rock formation, readying himself as he demonstrates more of his superiority over Frieza's men. A group of them gang together for a combined attack on Gohan, but he responds with a ferocious energy blast that takes out some of the soldiers. Realizing it wasn't enough though, he continues being pursued. Piccolo appears to have performed a similar strategy to Gohan in terms of location, deciding it's time to get serious as he removes his turban that weighs a soldier down. A few other rush in irritated, but Piccolo removes his cape as well, taking down 4 more in the process. Powering up and taking off into the air, the Namekian unleashes a barrage of energy attacks, though Frieza's men rise from the resulting smoke, irritating Piccolo. Transitioning back to Krillin, he's attempting to fend off more soldiers and evade incoming attacks, but he's being shot at from all directions, his focus wavering as he smashes face first into a tree. He faces the threat of being fatally wounded, but he's saved by someone moments before the detonation of another blast, revealed to be Gohan, who's taken him to rest on the ground. Krillin thanks his friend for saving his life, and noting Krillin would have done the same, Gohan tells him to relax as he fends off some of his enemies. Appearing before the group of soldiers, Gohan readies himself as they prepare a full force attack, using his remarkable speed to land pressure points on everyone, knocking them out. Jaco is seen still gaining some distance, utilizing his surroundings to evade soldiers who foolishly crash into a mountainside. Recovering and believing the patrolmen to have escaped, the group find and rush him sitting on a branch, though Jaco fearlessly leaps off and lands into the ocean below. Unsurprisingly, the soldiers unleash a barrage of blasts to hit him underwater, but they instead make contact with a gigantic sea monster who leaps from the sea and swallows a handful of soldiers. The rest of them still spot Jaco in the water and pursue him as he dives back under. Meanwhile, Master Roshi is having trouble fending off his remaining soldiers, assisted by Krillin, Tien, and Jaco, who all appear having finished up their work. Krillin compliments Jaco on his fighting ability, and Jaco returns the favor, questioning who Krillin is. Eliminating a few more enemies, Krillin asserts he's just an earthling that knows how to fight, and Jaco says he thought Krillin was too strong and funny looking to be from Earth. On the sidelines, Sorbet watches the Frieza Force dwindle down, wondering how only a few Earthlings have survived this long. Frieza isn't surprised in the least though, noting that if Gohan wanted to, he could wipe out an entire 1,000-man army in an instant. He goes on to assert that if you watch closely, the boy's attacks are deliberately non-lethal, just like his father Goku, who possesses such a pure heart it makes him want to vomit. Shisami then cuts in, requesting permission to join the battle. Upon confirmation, he lands in front of Piccolo, opting to start the killing with him. Piccolo accepts the challenge and launches in, dealing a kick to Shisami, though it's deflected as he's punched aside, flailing through the bodies of Frieza's soldiers. Rising to his feet, Piccolo manages to evade an energy blast, responding quickly with a special beam cannon that he launches at Shisami. When the attack detonates, Piccolo believes the battle to be over, but Shisami appears behind him, landing a blow that leaves Piccolo temporarily unconscious. Nearby, the Z fighters are finishing off the remaining soldiers, and Gohan notices Piccolo still battling his enemies. enemy. Stepping in to finish things quickly, Gohan removes his glasses and powers up to Super Saiyan, surprising Frieza as Shisami is eliminated with a single blow. Sorbet panics at witnessing the fall of his elite soldier, but Frieza tells him that the destructive force of a Super Saiyan shouldn't be taken lightly. The Tyrant expresses his astonishment at Gohan's transformation though, and Krillin hands out a sensu bean to everyone except Jocko, who refuses one. With the remainder of the Frieza Force now defeated, Frieza himself makes his way toward Earth's heroes. He exclaims that his soldiers are pathetic for putting up such a terrible show, and one of them apologized through his injuries, saying that the Earthlings were a lot stronger than they thought they'd be. In response, Frieza despises the broken and mangled bodies before him and prepares to destroy them, Piccolo warning everyone to move away quickly. Frieza unleashes his energy blast, completely wiping out the incapacitated soldiers in the blink of an eye. Floating above the destruction, Gohan and the others are in awe, Master Roshi grateful that he doesn't work for anyone like Frieza. On the sidelines, Bulma comments on how impressive her friends are, but notes the real threat hasn't even begun. Jocko adds on that the terror of Frieza is so legendary that even the Galactic Patrol steers clear of him, and says that he won't be stepping in to fight, as he doesn't stand a chance. Frieza hovers above everyone, and Master Roshi ponders if they can win by banding together, but Piccolo responds negatively, asserting that none of them stand a chance. Mocking Earth's defenders as they aren't moving in to attack, Frieza says he's going to start killing them off one by one. He focuses his attention on Gohan first, and recalling the half-Saiyan being just a boy when they first met on Namek, Frieza quickly appears in front of Gohan and deals a devastating blow to his stomach, knocking him unconscious. Listening for a heartbeat, Krillin can't hear one and assumes Gohan to be on the verge of death, so Piccolo intervenes and deals shock treatment to the half-Saiyan, reviving him as he's given a sensu bean. Watching Gohan rise to his feet, Frieza comments on how the Earthlings have some sort of wonder drug, but notes it won't be enough to save them from death. Tien questions Krillin on how many sensu beans they have left, and realizing only one remains, everyone prepares for the fight of their lives. Meanwhile on Beerus' planet, Lord Beerus is enjoying pizza while Goku and Vegeta continue their training with Whis. Beerus, however, interrupts them when questioning what cheese is, prompting Goku to ask if that's really necessary. Beerus responds with the threat of destroying the Earth, but Goku retracts his questioning, begging the destroyer not to. Suddenly, the Oracle Fish flies in, alerting Whis that he missed an important call from Earth. Whis retrieves his staff and witnesses Bulma offering ice cream, poised to make his way to Earth to investigate, along with Beerus, who wants to try some as well. Whis contacts Bulma back and questions her more about the food, but Bulma responds by demanding Goku and Vegeta to return home immediately, as Frieza's come back to life and is threatening the Earth. This news surprises the Saiyan duo, and Goku tells Bulma they'll have Whis take them home right away. Whis estimates a 35-minute trip at maximum speed though, so Bulma suggests Goku use instant transmission instead. Goku counters that he has to sense his target in order for it to work, so Bulma employs Gohan and the others to power up to their maximum. The group does so, and when Goku finally senses them, Vegeta reluctantly grabs his hand as they take off for their friends. The two arrive on Earth to everyone's joy, and when Goku questions if they made it in time, Krillin happily responds that he should try to make it at the start of the fight next time. Frieza greets Goku as well, pleased to see that he's finally arrived, and acknowledges Vegeta's presence too. Goku questions how Frieza managed to come back to life, and Piccolo cuts in, informing him that his lackeys use the Earth's Dragon Balls. Frieza goes on to recount his experience in Earth's hell over the past few years, noting that rather than ruling the universe with an iron fist, he was serenaded by teddy bears every day. Goku responds that Frieza was only killed because he came to Earth looking for a fight, but the Tyrant asserts he had to, as he'll never be able to sleep in the cosmos knowing that he shares it with Goku. Frieza asserts that the Saiyan's death will be his remedy for peace of mind, and goes on to explain that he's been training intensively every day since his return to make sure that he doesn't lose to him again. Goku asserts that Frieza's definitely become stronger since the last time they met, but says he's gotten a lot stronger as well, so he'll have his work cut out for him. Frieza responds in saying that on Namek he made mistakes and was caught off guard by Goku, so to ensure that won't happen again, he plans to reveal his final form from the very beginning. Frieza then powers up immensely, exploding into a wave of energy that surprises both Goku and Vegeta. The sky becomes darker as the Saiyans and everyone stand in awe, Frieza emerging in his final form, reminiscent of their battle on Namek. Goku questions what kind of training Frieza did, and stating he's definitely no pushover, the Saiyan notes that if Frieza wasn't such a bad person, he'd make for a great sparring partner. Goku then unleashes some of his energy, and Frieza challenges him to power up to Super Saiyan. However, a confident Goku says he's not sure if he needs to yet, and the two prepare for their epic battle. Both warriors charge in, the two exchanging blows with Goku maintaining the upper hand. Frieza takes off into the air and Goku follows close behind, the two halting before exchanging a few more fast-paced attacks, though Goku demonstrates his superiority. He throws Frieza down to the mountainside, though he manages to launch himself back up, pushed away and growing irritated as he continues his assault. Down below, Piccolo observes that Goku hasn't taken any damage yet, a sentiment echoed by Jocko as he questions how an Earthling could be so strong. When Bulma explains that he and Vegeta are actually Saiyans, Jocko grows surprised as he figured their race had been wiped out long ago. Shifting back to the battle, Goku lands a devastating blow to Frieza's back, sending him plummeting down and crashing into the sea. The tyrant responds by launching an energy blast, which Goku counters by shooting one of his own. Met with a barrage of ki blasts through the resulting smoke, Goku manages to swipe them all away. They're headed straight for Vegeta and the others, but the Saiyan calmly uses his own energy attacks to stop the blasts from detonating around them. Above, Goku is taken by surprise when Frieza appears behind him, unleashing a deadly energy ball that comes hurtling at top speed. Responding quickly, Goku unleashes a Kamehameha, swiftly overpowering the attack and creating a powerful explosion. When the smoke clears, Frieza grows angry when Goku mocks his current capabilities, prompting the tyrant to unleash more physical attacks that Goku counters. Below, Vegeta is watching the battle in irritation, taking off into the air to meet Goku and Frieza. Randomly launching toward the two, Frieza is caught off guard when Vegeta punches Goku out of the way and deals a few more blows to him. Asserting that Goku promised him they would take turns fighting Frieza, the two continue their squabble in midair, Frieza interrupting the Saiyans and insisting that Vegeta hang back a bit as he wants to kill Goku first. Reluctantly, Vegeta agrees and returns to the ground, intent on battling Frieza eventually. Back in the air, Frieza notes that Goku's grown a lot stronger than he thought, going on to say that it's fortunate he trained so hard in the past few months, otherwise he might actually be scared. Goku finds this comment amusing and realizes that Frieza's been holding back his true power, the tyrant confirming as both fighters agree to utilize their full strength. Landing back on the ground, Goku powers up and unleashes his most powerful transformation, Super Saiyan Blue. This development astounds Frieza, who learns that Goku originally started with a form called Super Saiyan God, but learned to tap into that power to unlock the form he sees before him. In response, Frieza powers up as a fiery aura surrounds him, different from what everyone's seen before. It's not long before the tyrant explodes in a blinding flash of light, revealing a golden form that surprises both Goku and Vegeta. His glimmering new facade now on display for Earth's warriors to see, Frieza dons his new form, Golden Frieza, and tells Goku there's far more to it than just the alluring glow. Goku tells Frieza he's far more powerful now than he was expecting, and Frieza looks forward to round 2 of their epic battle. Before starting though, Goku jokingly questions Vegeta on if he wants to take his turn now, but the Saiyan adamantly refuses, and Goku readies himself for their fight. Goku charges in and his first attack is caught by Frieza, the tyrant responding by delivering a gut punch and a blow to his face. Goku is sent flying into a rock formation and bombarded by finger beams that trigger a massive explosion. However, he soon rises from the ashes, to no surprise of Frieza. The Saiyan charges in again, this time using instant transmission to appear behind Frieza and deal a blow to the back of him. Frieza lands in the sea below, but launches back up in a fury as the two exchange blows. Interlocking themselves in midair, Frieza takes advantage of the opportunity to flip and knee Goku in his stomach, only to be met with a similar attack to the face, and the two continue their rapid exchange of attacks. Goku is kicked away and Frieza pursues, the two landing in a volcanic-like structure in the distance. Goku quickly gets back to the action when he attempts to punch Frieza, but Frieza effortlessly dodges and deals more attacks to the Saiyan, seemingly gaining the upper hand. As their battle continues, everyone watches on the sidelines as Beerus and Whis appear, the latter greeting everyone as Krillin questions if they're here to help. They quickly decline to intervene with mortal affairs though, and instead question Bulma about the ice cream she promised them. Bulma notes this isn't such a good time for dessert, but Beerus threatens her with destruction, prompting Bulma to fetch it for him. Back in the battle, Goku and Frieza seem to be on equal footing, but Frieza unleashes a devastating wave of energy that catches Goku off guard, splitting the ground beneath them in half. Frieza brags about how strong he's become, and at the same time, Bulma presents the ice cream to Beerus and Whis. The two discuss how good it looks, and speaking of good, Beerus comments on Frieza's improved strength. Whis notes how Goku is having trouble trouble with him, and Beerus shifts his focus to Vegeta, stating how it's weird that he's just watching Goku fight, as they could surely win if they just worked together. Whis responds that they'd be an unstoppable duo for sure, but Beerus says they're too stupid to see it. Frieza delivers a powerful kick to Goku, sending him crashing into a mountainside. Winded, the Saiyan admits he's having trouble and Frieza laughs, Goku going on to say that he spent years training to acquire his current strength, while Frieza caught up in no time. Frieza, assuming the Saiyan is attempting to play on his mercy, tells Goku he commends him for putting up a good struggle, but says he won't rest until he's destroyed him for good. Frieza's focus wavers though when he looks over and notices Beerus, fearfully addressing him and questioning what he's doing on Earth. Beerus responds that he's come to enjoy Earth's culinary delights, and Frieza wonders if he plans to stop him from taking revenge on Goku. Beerus, however, notes that Frieza is free to do as he pleases, as he doesn't take sides in battles. Bulma questions the deity on if he'd really allow Frieza to destroy the Earth, but Beerus says he'll protect Bulma as long as she provides him food, prompting everyone to seek cover beside him. Focusing on Goku again, Frieza playfully questions him on which limb he should take off first, but Goku tells him he should leave Earth on a high note while he still can, as he'd hate for him to waste his new life. Frieza refuses to leave though with victory so close at hand, and suddenly Vegeta cuts in, letting Goku he'd like to take his turn now. Goku, however, says that isn't fair, as Vegeta only wants to cut in as he's pinpointed Frieza's weakness as well. Surprised to hear this, Frieza questions what his weakness is they speak of, and Vegeta inquires if the tyrant bolted to Earth the minute he achieved his new level of strength. Frieza confirms he did, and Goku cuts in, asserting that Frieza's new form is burning through more power than his body can supply, and says he should have gotten used to his golden state before he started picking fights. Considering the Saiyan's claims may be true, Frieza resolves to stop wasting time and go all out, launching at Goku, and the two continue their battle. Goku swipes at Frieza and draws blood, the tyrant responding by throwing a punch that Goku blocks. The two exchange blows before Goku gains some distance, taking to the air to launch a barrage of ki blasts that miss Frieza. Frieza appears behind Goku and lands a blow to his face, the Saiyan stopping himself from crashing into the sea. Goku retaliates by punching Frieza downward, finishing the assault by kneeing him into the water. Beneath the surface, Goku attempts to rise, but is ensnared by Frieza's tail. Goku kicks the tyrant repeatedly to loosen his grip, but he responds by launching ki blasts at Goku's face. Struggling to breathe, Goku powers up and rushes toward the surface, appearing from underwater as both he and Frieza attempt to catch their breath. Goku, however, remains confident and flies away, irritating Frieza, who pursues him. He unleashes another wave of energy attacks, but Goku evades and counters them all. He's soon rushed by Frieza, who lands a powerful punch to his face. However, this time, Goku is unfazed, surprising Frieza as the two come to a standstill. Goku breaks the silence though when he hits Frieza with a slight gesture, the power from said attack causing visible damage to him. Goku continues his assault, beginning to dominate Frieza in their battle. He follows up with a Kamehameha, and though Frieza attempts to send it back, he's overpowered and engulfed by the blast. Everyone watches in amazement apart from Vegeta, and after a moment of reprieve in the battle, Frieza emerges from underwater. Goku, asserting that his prediction came true after all, tells a fatigued Frieza to leave the Earth while he still can. He goes on to say the two can fight again when he's ready, and losing his composure, Frieza lets out a furious cry, wondering why he's falling short to Goku yet again. He drops to his knees as Goku appears in front of him, angered that things are failing to go as planned. Frieza suddenly strikes a glare at Sorbet in the distance though, and remembering what they discussed, the alien shoots a relaxed Goku through the chest, causing him to revert to his base form. This sudden development pleases Frieza, and as Goku's friends watch in awe, Whis appears disappointed, having witnessed Goku drop his guard again. Revealing to an injured Goku that he had a contingency plan all along, Frieza begins kicking him while he's down, and steps on his newly created wound. This prompts the Saiyan to scream out in agony while on the sidelines. Whis states that he tried to warn Goku that something like this might happen. Frieza continues his torture to Goku, finishing it by kicking him into some rocks in the distance. Krillin and the others attempt to intervene, but Frieza stops them in their tracks, preventing any interference. Frieza berates Goku for his habit of being too lenient, going on to say that the Saiyan is too strong for his own good and way too overconfident, mocking the Saiyan and stating that one of the cosmos' strongest mortals was felled by a ray gun. Frieza prepares to destroy Goku once and for all. However, he notices Vegeta watching in the distance, noting that he could make this moment much more enjoyable for himself. Frieza offers for Vegeta Vegeta to be the one to finish off Goku, going on to say that if he does, he'll be spared and can repledge his loyalty to the Frieza Force. After a moment of consideration, Vegeta moves toward Frieza and Goku, Bulma yelling for her husband to stop, though Frieza tells her to shut up. Landing in front of his rival, Vegeta listens as Goku apologizes for messing things up, the Saiyan Prince telling Goku that Whis tried to warn him about his overconfidence. Vegeta then tells Frieza that he can't will himself to kill Goku, as their rivalry pushes him to grow stronger. Frieza, however, tries to sweeten the deal, asserting that he'll allow Vegeta to become the supreme commander of the Frieza Force if he takes Goku's life. Vegeta initially pretends to be interested, but drops a bombshell, revealing that he's going to pulverize Frieza until there's nothing left of him. Frieza is astounded at Vegeta's audacity, but the Saiyan Prince remains stern in his decision-making, telling Frieza that he'd be a fool to expect any loyalty from him after he blew up the planet he was destined to rule. On the sidelines, Whis whispers to Beerus that he was the one who authorized Planet Vegeta's destruction in the first place, but Beerus tells him to be quiet, as he doesn't want that getting out. Vegeta tells Krillin to get Goku a senzu bean right away, and when he rushes to get to him, Frieza attempts to kill Krillin with a ki blast. Vegeta, however, swiftly appears and swats said ki blast away, landing directly on top of Sorbet in the distance and kills him on impact. Krillin lands and feeds the last senzu bean to Goku, and when the Saiyan fully recovers, Vegeta tells him to stay out of this fight while he deals with Frieza. Frieza confidently asserts that Vegeta stands no chance against him, but the Saiyan powers up and transforms into Super Saiyan Blue, surprising him completely. Approaching the tyrant, Vegeta asserts that Frieza had no idea he transformed, as he's been a Super Saiyan for years, and now he too has the power of a god. Frieza unleashes a ki blast at the Saiyan, but Vegeta swats it away with ease. In response, Frieza unleashes a ki blast barrage, but Vegeta appears from the resulting smoke, telling Frieza that he doesn't share Kakarot's sense of forgiveness and plans to send the tyrant back to hell. Frieza expresses his disbelief in Vegeta's capabilities before the Saiyan rushes in, dealing a devastating blow to the tyrant's stomach, which causes severe damage. Frieza responds by attempting to land punches on Vegeta, but Vegeta dodges each blow and lands a few of his own, ending the combination with a kick that pushes Frieza back. Frieza rushes back in and is pummeled on re-entry, kicked away by Vegeta again and crashes into a mountainside nearby. When the dust settles, Frieza is at his limit and reverts from his golden form, in disbelief at his current predicament as Vegeta appears in front of him. Vegeta tells Frieza to face his death with honor and warns him from coming back to life, but the tyrant, in a desperate final move, delivers an attack to the earth that completely ruptures it. As the planet moves to the brink of destruction, Beerus tells Whis to act fast, and the angel erects a force field around himself and everyone surrounding him. It's not long before the earth shatters under the pressure of Frieza's attack, completely exploding and destroying all life on it, including Vegeta's. In space, Earth's survivors are in awe of the recent events, and Bulma cries knowing her mother, father, husband, and child are all dead. Piccolo notes that Frieza was so cowardly that he took the planet with him, though Whis interjects, stating that Frieza is most likely alive, as his species can survive in the vacuum of space. Master Roshi goes on to say that the Dragon Balls are destroyed too, so there's no way anyone can reverse the damage that Frieza's done. Goku takes the blame for the situation, saying that if he just finished Frieza off when he had the chance, none of this would have happened. Whis agrees and questions if the Saiyan is ready to make things right, and Beerus says the only way to stop Frieza is to eliminate him for good. Goku questions how it would be possible to change anything now, and Whis reminds him of his ability to reverse time. He says that 3 minutes is all he can manage to do though, and reverses time to the moment before Frieza blew up the Earth. As the tyrant prepares to go through with his devious plan again, Goku flies in, preparing and unleashing a lethal Kamehameha intended to kill Frieza. When Vegeta moves out of the way, Frieza is caught in the blast, unable to defend himself, and is completely disintegrated, along with the rest of his ship. After the tyrant's elimination, Vegeta rushes toward Goku, berating his rival for swiping his victory from under him, though Goku tries to explain. Bulma cuts in though, telling her husband that Goku just saved him and the entire world, and Vegeta demands an explanation. As Bulma explains everything in the aftermath, she thanks Beerus and Whis for their help, offering to give them a huge feast after they use the Dragon Balls to restore North City. Goku then approaches Vegeta, who refuses to thank him for saving his life and says that they're even. However, Goku really just wanted to question how Vegeta felt about Whis suggesting they could work together to become an unstoppable duo. Scoffing at the remark, Vegeta declines and says he prefers to work alone, supported by Goku, who feels the same way. And so, peace returns to the planet once more, and we witness Frieza back in Earth's hell being serenaded again, where he screams out in frustration from this peculiar form of punishment, trapped in an eternal loop of irritation and despair. The story of Frieza's return in Dragon Ball may not be the best in the series, but it's definitely contributed to other amazing arcs like the Tournament of Power and even the Granola arc. But what did you think of this? Did you enjoy it? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.